This fall, we have been looking at a sermon series called Cultivating Space for the Holy. And we've been thinking through the call, and we've been thinking through vocation. And this Sunday, we're moving a little bit in a different direction. Today, we're talking about cultivating space, finding room in our lives for the holy. And today, we're focused on the presence of a miracle. When we think about miracles, sometimes we are looking for the big, the bold, the flashy. We think that a miracle should come with an announcement or a pronouncement or at least a red carpet, maybe a drone show. Those are really special. It should at least come with a breaking news alert across the TV. Here is the miracle. Everybody get ready. And we sit and we're captivated. I know this morning the Broncos are playing, and sometimes we root for miracles in sports events. I'm a Tigers fan. I was hoping for a miracle. They didn't pull it out. It's okay. We're going to be okay. Those are the types of miracles we laugh about, we joke about, we think about, we dream about. And we do put a lot of energy into that. But the miracle that we are talking about today is a little bit different. And we reference this story, the story of the 10 lepers. Now, I know I don't really travel the road between Galilee and Samaria, and I don't know 10 lepers, but I do know people who are outcast. And I do travel places that feel unsafe. And so for the purpose of this morning, I encourage you to think about the places you travel that feel unsafe, and to think about the people who are outcast from your life. Tomorrow is my oldest child's 27th birthday. That is amazing. I don't know how he can be 27 when I am also 27. Somehow the math doesn't quite work, but here we are. And in these occasions, as most parents do, I reflect on my parenting. There are some places that I got it right. By the grace of God, I got it right. Lots of places where therapy has been very helpful for my children to process my own parenting, and everything in between. I remember as a young parent thinking, I am going to raise my children to be full of gratitude. I want them to be kind, to be aware of the goodness around them. I thought at that time, silly young mom, that was actually about me, that I was going to teach them that. I went so far, I thought I was so clever, that in their Christmas stockings, I would put cute thank you notes for them to complete at the Christmas dinner table. Silly me. So they were really cute. And I noticed as the years went by, because it took me a while to learn this, that they just stayed in those cute little packs. We probably have them somewhere buried in our home. 3 kids, multiple years, a slow learning parent. And they didn't take. They might have written 1 or 2, probably to grandma. And what we learned through those exercises was that the act of gratitude did not have a direct correlation to the receiving of gifts. In other words, the thank you note didn't have to come first. The gift came first. I will just get to the spoiler alert. My children ended up fine. They're great, and they actually are full of gratitude, and they are very kind people. Very little of that has to do with anything I did. But don't worry if you're worried that the thank you note experiment blew up, it didn't work, and now they're horrible people. Nope, they're not. They're really not. The thank you notes did not work. But what did work is a recognition that the gifts are about the giver. That I didn't give my kids a Christmas gift because I was waiting for a cute thank you note to come back. I gave them gifts because I wanted to celebrate with them the joy that came when they had just the right thing. When they had mentioned months earlier about something that they really liked or they were into or something that was interesting to them. And I found it. And I wrapped it up. And I waited because it was hard for me not to give them that gift earlier. And I saw them open the gift. That was the joy. It wasn't about that thank you note. And thank goodness that we don't have to wait to be given gifts just because we've given a thank you note. In this story, Jesus did that. Jesus gave the gift of healing to these 10 lepers. We can assume through the context of this story that they would have done nothing to deserve this healing other than existing and calling out to Jesus. But beyond that, it didn't sound like they had an abundant, very obvious reason for meriting this gift. They existed. All 10 of them were healed. But one of them reflected on that healing to the extent that he turned around and came back. Now, there are times I think we're all grateful and we appreciate and we just kind of continue with our stride and we think, wow, that was nice. I appreciate that. That person was very kind to me. And we think those thoughts in our head. But we just keep on going. We might be motivated to then do something nice for someone else, but we don't turn around. We don't come back. And Jesus' gift wasn't based on that. He didn't stand there with his hands on his hips and say, you ungrateful lepers, come on back here. I'm going to take that healing away from you. He didn't threaten them. He didn't condemn them. He didn't stop giving miracles and healing. He noted it. And there they went, those 9. We don't know the end of the story for those other lepers, the other 9. That would be fascinating. I'd love to know more about how their lives turned out. If they ever stopped to recognize. Did they ever turn back? We don't know, but we know that one did. And his story is different, not because the gift he received was different. His story is different because the change that happened in him when he said thank you. The gift that was given was exactly the same. But his transformation was made whole when he acknowledged it and he gave thanks. He was changed. He felt connected. He felt the depth of gratitude that comes when you recognize that a gift has been given, a miracle has happened. And friends, I believe that that actual miracle was not in the healing that Jesus offered. I think the miracle happened when the gift was received. So when we pause and we think about the places where the gifts have been given in our lives, when we stop and we reflect on the miracles around us, it's not so much for creating space for miracles to happen, because they happen anyway. It's making space to turn around, to offer gratitude, to acknowledge that our lives have been changed because of those. That's where the miracle happens for us. How have you been blessed? Where are the miracles? I'm pausing and giving a little time to think. There are so many. There are the miracles that come in the beauty of creation. For the air we breathe, for the mountains we get to admire, for the freedom to speak and to gather and to worship without fear of persecution. We have been given health, although maybe not perfect health. We have been given health that allows us to enjoy the beauty all around us. It might be something small, a conversation, a connection, an opportunity to look into the eyes of someone else, to know that we are not alone in the hard places. We are aware that we have food, we have shelter, we have health, we have spiritual community. We are not alone on this journey. And in the midst of this place, we recognize that those are gifts given to us not because we've earned them, not because we've done something amazing, not because we've said the right words or we wrote that actual thank you note. Those gifts are given to us through grace, through the grace of a God that loves us so much. The grace of a God who says to us, I love you, I accept you, I know you, and I still love you. I have searched you, I have made you, you are good. Friends, that is our God. That is our gift giver. That is the one who holds us close. That is the one who watches us to find that gift, just like a child on a Christmas morning, waiting to unwrap. Just think how busy God has to be all the time, waiting for us to discover those gifts. So as you think about your journeys from this place, I encourage you to reflect on the ways that you have been given the gifts of God, the ways that you have seen a miracle happen, and the ways that you can turn and offer those thanks. It's not because if you don't give thanks, the gifts will stop. It's because when you give thanks, you change. And you become an opportunity to be a gift to someone else. It is important for us to complete that loop, to connect back, and to recognize that the gifts and the givers and the opportunities for miracles are all around us, in this place, in this world, wherever we might go. So friends, I invite you to reflect. Where is the space in your life to recognize the miracle that's already happened, will continue to happen? The grace, the miracle, the opportunities for giving thanks. Those are in front of us today and every day. Amen.